My name is Rhapsody, welcome back to Slay the Spire, where we are going to be playing a challenge that is quite commonly suggested. The incarnation that we will be playing in particular is by Alexander Perrault. I have a fun idea, the Communist Challenge. Basically, the right side of your screen is a no-go zone. You may only take paths on the left side of your screen, not on the left, but the left side of my screen, right? So it doesn't mean that every path I take has to go left. And buy cards that are on the left side of the screen. For the shop, this means that the 4 cards on the left, the middle card, and the leftmost potion and relic are accessible. The only time you are allowed to click something on the right side is when it's functionally necessary, choosing cards to play during fights, targeting enemies, ending your turn, etc. When choosing a card as a reward, you can never choose the right card or skip button. There are no modifiers except for sealed deck, which we have on. Only cards from the first 3 columns can be picked, so 20% of the cards that we see aren't going to be available to us. Ascension, level, and character are up to the player's choice. So I've chosen the character as the leftmost character, right? Ironclad. And in Ascension, I've decided that, I mean, we're starting with sealed deck, and I want it to still be a little bit of a challenge at the very least, despite the fact that we are not going to be able to skip cards, and we're not going to be able to take the rightmost card, and we're denied 20% of the sealed draft. I think we can get this to work on Ascension 10. If we can't, then I'm more than happy to redo this challenge on Ascension 5. Savvy? Looks good. And of the rest of it is, whenever there is doubt, the player can rely on their own interpretation of where the visual center of the screen is, and if something is positioned on the left side of that. Have fun, comrades! Alexander. So I'm gonna change the name of this for a couple of reasons. Number one, I don't want to get demonetized. So instead, this is gonna be called Perfect Praxis. Let's go. Ah, not back. Let's go forward. Let's progress. All right, turn that down and can't take any of the cards on this side of the screen. Oh my God, this could have been such a good perfected strike deck if we could. So there's a Shrug It Off, there's 3 Body Slams, there's a True Grit. Oh my God, this is such a garbage draft. Oh no. We have literally 2 defense cards, True Grit and Shrug It Off. And then Body Slam, Body Slam, Body Slam. Oh no. Okay, we may not actually be able to win this specific one. I'll take Anger and Anger, just try and rush my way through fights, I guess. Okay, so outside of that, the most effective cards, I guess. Uppercut, Clothesline. Flex is pretty good here. Cleave gives us a little bit of AoE, and then Burning Pack to draw back into all of the angers that I'll be using as my fuel, I guess. And then a single headbutt. This is a garbage deck. We may end up dying in like 10 minutes and then resetting down to Ascension 5. So this is the midline of the screen, which means obviously I start here. And there's no restrictions on which cards I play. It's just I can't play cards that... I mean, I could still get an Anger here, so show a little bit of that. It's that I cannot choose cards from the other side, right? So it's right side of the screen is a no-go zone for selecting paths on the right side of the screen and buying cards on the right side of the screen. Cool. So here we can take Second Wind and Body Slam. Right? Whenever there's doubt, if something's positioned on the left side of that. So if it's positioned down the midline, how does that work? The only time you're allowed to click the right side, blah, blah, blah. When choosing a card as a reward, you can never choose the right card or the skip button. Okay, so yeah, either of these is available to me. Neither of them is good, and I can't skip. The right side of your screen is a no-go zone. See, the fact that this is talking about a screen in particular makes me want to hold my mouse over here, but I have to check my deck. I mean, I can just use the hotkey, I guess. I really don't want any of these. I guess I take Second Wind. I was very hopeful that was going to be lethal in that turn. Didn't need to count it because it was the kind of turn that I was going to be doing in that way anyway. There we go. Yeah, especially with this draft, I don't know how far this one's going to go. Blood potion, another anger. I mean, I can't skip, right? Getting the golds. Only taking 6 damage, yes. Neat. Yep, the update for the blood potion is available here, so... Ooh. Combust gives us a little bit more AoE. I would have taken the Shrug It Off if it was available, but it wasn't. The 4 cards on the left, so these are the ones that I am capable of taking. And the leftmost potion as well as the leftmost relic. Okay, so I can never get a shop relic, unfortunately. Something we have to consider. Damn, that bag of marbles would be really good for us. Panache is not super unlikely to trigger in this, just because of the angers. I think we try and turn this into a Panache deck. Especially right now. That'll do it. And I'll put Flex back atop the deck. Just so that I can try and guarantee that I play 5 cards next turn. Ugh, rough. That's definitely not going to guarantee that for me. Hopefully we don't draw days. We're not going to be able to play all the cards anyway. Ugh. Man. Okay, so the frontliner dies without my intervention past this point. And the backliner dies as well. Beautiful. But face on, when we play a power card, heal for 2 HP, as well as Hemokinesis or Clash. Clash is the most likely thing for me to be able to use here. In the first cycle, it's not particularly good. Past that, it's really great. True Grit being able to target something is going to help me make sure that Clash is more effective. Also, I do need to upgrade my defense. Okay. Flex, Uppercut, Headbutt? Yeah. Flex, Uppercut, Headbutt, and then just put, I think, Flex atop the deck. I'm triggering Panache next turn. I know that I'm definitely triggering Panache next turn. So I knew the setup. Sundial, every 3 times you shuffle your draw pile, gain 2 energy. Again, I can't take anything that's not on the left side of the screen. Another Combust. Yeah. Shockwave is too expensive to play right now. Bottled Lightning won't pick up choose a skill. Start each combat that in opening hand. I'm thinking probably Shrug It Off just so that I have defense available to me early. This is still the left-hand side of the screen, right? So I can take the question mark here. Didn't even want it. Got punished. All right, I'm going to Combust, Anger, Headbutt, set up for another Anger on top of the deck. Because then the frontliner is dead, and the backliner is the only one that I actually need to focus on. Beautiful. Makes life easy. Bronze as well as Whirlwind totally goes into deck. Does it? Spot Weakness definitely would, but it's on the right side of the screen. Exhume doesn't go in this deck, obviously. Whirlwind. The fact that I can't skip cards at all, like, it's not just the right side is banned. It's like I also cannot skip cards. This makes this, like, a couple challenges. It's a wee bit of a concern. So what am I talking about when I say this makes this a couple of challenges, right? So there's a challenge that a lot of people suggest and that I eventually will end up doing. That is... One second, I play these out. Okay, so we're doing 10 in AoE already, so pop. There we go. So there's a challenge a lot of people suggest that is effectively just, you can never turn down a card. Haha, have fun, Thin Deck Rhapsody. And I've done it before and I'll definitely do it again. But the problem that that runs into is that this build is the same. This is just that with extra layers. As much as I want to remove something from my deck, healing is pretty important, and then I'll try and go for another elite. Yeah, I'll wake you up. Getting all those angers out really early is pretty good. Whirlwind actually isn't that great for us, though. That is to say, overall in this combat. I'm gonna headbutt a anger back to the top of the deck, burn the combust in order to get the anger. And now in my next cycle of the deck, I should mainly just have angers, hopefully. Well, I was hoping, but worked out differently. Kunai, every time you play 3 attacks in a single turn, gain 1 dex. Neat. And sweet, ghost armor, so I can actually benefit from that dex. Well, it needs to be upgraded for the sake of the next floor. Second wind is really good later on here, though. Just lost ghost armor as well. So clothesline. What's my next hand like? Okay, so clash is bad to put back to the top of my deck right now. So I guess I'm headbutting back to the top of my deck. He's already clotheslined. Probably just another anger. May be able to split the enemy this turn. Ooh, that'll do it. That will do it. Now, unfortunately, I need draw in this hand if I'm actually going to trigger Panache. Not. Okay, fine. I mean, I didn't trigger Panache, but I did do some killing. Bye to you, and hello to our Berserk and Juggernaut. We don't gain enough. Again, we can't skip, and we don't gain block much at all, so Berserk. But Berserk will kill me. So I can't take Runic Pyramid, midline, to the left. Unable to rest will also kill me, but having extra energy is good for the sake of the Whirlwind. I think I will take Black Blood, but I think it's a trap. Healing 10 at the end of combat is nice. Healing 4 more at the end of combat. It's nice. So the midline of the screen is right here. I'm looking at the markings on my monitor that say that the midline of the screen is right here. So I can take here and then go left. Unfortunately, I really do want to play that Clash. So I have to take approximately infinity damage. Yeah, definitely should have prioritized my targets better there. I thought they would both just be attacking for the same. Thank you. Definitely needed to shrug it off. 5 apparitions? I mean, if I'm ever going to live, I think I need them. Definitely don't want to lose all of my gold here. Unfortunate to get the shrug it off there. Oh, well. Yeah, this deck has no archetype. It's not... how do I put this lightly? Viable at all, even slightly. I mean, that'll do some work over the next course of a couple turns. And then I heal up 10 at the end of the fight. I mean, this is all fine. Like, optimal. Red Mask at the start of each combat apply when weak to all enemies. Pommel Strike, I guess I can take. You can now remove cards from your deck at rest sites. Interesting, interesting. I think I just increased my max HP. Oh, I can't take that. Again, right, of course. So I'll increase my max HP. Nothing is said about card removal. See, again, it says right side of the screen, but then it also specifies things that aren't necessarily on the right side. The wording of this challenge is unfortunately non-specific, I think. Right side of your screen is a no-go zone. You can only take paths on the left side of your screen. Okay, that makes sense. That I've abided by so far. And buy cards that are on the left side of the screen. Okay, that gets specified later. For the shop, this means the 4 cards on the left, the middle card, and the leftmost potion and relic are accessible. The only time when you are allowed to click something on the right side is when it is functionally necessary. What? But... okay, I'm guessing that means no card removal. But it's not specified. And there are a lot of things on the right side of the screen that I still get to click. Ah! I thought these rules were much more straightforward when I picked them. All this smooth stone started to come up with 1 dex. Thanks. I mean, I have a lot of decks, I just can't do anything with it. Thank you for all of those. Can make sure that my next cycle is complete garbage. Much appreciated. I can't even attack next turn as well. That's gonna be garbage. Hopefully I just get apparitions. So the reason I burnt Clash there is because the wounds being shuffled into my deck probably mean I'm never going to play another Clash. I don't get to play more cards. Damn it. Two turns time, both of those frontliners are dead. I know I'm intangible for the first turn, and then the last turn is just get the back line myself. Beautiful. Vajra started combat with 1 strength. That's actually quite handy for me. Blood for blood? Yeah, I guess I'll take that. It's actually kind of useful for me. Berserk removing its extra vulnerability is also going to be really, really important, I think. I'd like more draw if I can find it. I mean, Apparition does nothing here, so I may as well just burn it. Apparition only does nothing if I don't have another Apparition, though. That said, I wouldn't have been able to afford both of them, so I think I'm okay. Right, so that puts this on the ground and it kills this bird. Backliner attacks me though. I'm gonna use liquid bronze. It means the backliner only connects 3 shots through, so I full heal at the end of the battle. Okay. Inflame is pretty good here, but ghostly armor is an extra defensive thing, and I just don't have access to it. Warpaint upon pickup upgrade to random skills. Nate. Hell yeah, decent amount of damage on the Centurion there. Apparition. And I'm more than happy to lose both of those ghostly armors at this point. I'm just trying to cycle back into aggression. Great. And so the rest of this is down to like trigger a panache next turn and target the backline. Unfortunately, I cannot trigger a panache this turn. This exhausts a card, this exhausts a card, right? So whichever I play last is the one that I actually get to use. Or, sorry, whichever I try and play last will be exhausted by the one that I play beforehand, because there's a necessity there. Absorb by Mystic and Power Potion. That could actually carry us. Ooh, Anger. If we find an unceasing top, I don't know. Maybe we can pivot this deck. Maybe we can make something happen. I mean, I could have played that Apparition or not. It wouldn't have mattered either way. Like, I could have played a Defend instead. I guess I could have saved a Ghostly Armor in my deck if I ideally wanted to. I don't really want to, though. Really wanted an Apparition there, game. Game? Well, our life just became horrible. Thanks for the delectable damage. As you resummon, no attack on turn 1, good. I'm intangible for your attack now as well. I'm gonna heal from the blood potion before we exit the combat. All's well that ends well. Smiling Mask, magic card with surplus now always cost 50 gold. Another whirlwind. Like, am I not allowed to smith at all in this challenge? Like, I'm not allowed to smith, I'm not allowed to skip cards. I have to take cards on the left hand or the middlemost, like... And am I allowed to check my deck? Am I allowed to go to the settings? I mean, like, without the hotkeys, I guess. Like, these are the things that I don't really understand. It says right side of your screen is a no-go zone, and then it specifies that you can do it when it's functionally necessary. I think I'm probably not allowed to smith. But the thing is, if the right, straight up, full right side of the screen is not possible, then... Alexander, did you test this? I don't think I'm allowed to smith. I'm gonna try and abide by the rules as I interpret the spirit of them here. But this is what I mentioned when I started this part of the series. That me having to figure out what the spirit of your challenge is and then play along that is not tenable. Do not make me do that, please. It's not tenable for a couple of reasons, but the most important of which is everyone else's interpretation of how it should go is subjective. Well, I mean, all interpretations are subjective, including my own. But it becomes a problem when... I didn't need to even kill that. Ryan, I'm thinking about something else. It becomes a problem because my bias is obviously going to be towards whatever makes it easier for me. And the bias of the viewer oftentimes is going to be towards whatever makes it cruelest for me. And also, as I said, everyone has subjective interpretations, and there is never going to be universal agreement of, oh, this is definitely what that intended. So please do challenge and be extremely explicit with rule sets like this. I hate to complain, but it's a good example of what I'm trying to talk about when I talk about being explicit. Because you'd think if I couldn't smith, it would be in the... Yeah, never mind. Like, the implications of the rule set here are the things that are not entirely... entirely laid out. Myself an extra point of dex. Need apparition. Sadly lost another one. So I've only got 2 more apparitions left in the deck. Yeah, haven't found one here. Not really that much I can do this turn. Like, at this point, I am pretty much just resigned to the fact that this run is going to lose, and then I'm going to have to do it, I think, on Ascension 0. If I want to not, like, if I want to try and abide by the spirit of do not click the right side of the screen, if at all avoidable, then I just have to go to the lowest. And it did specifically say, when choosing a card as a reward, you can never choose the right card or skip button. So I can take the middle one. That's, again, can't smith. So this is never turn down a card, as well as never upgrade any cards, as well as have effectively binary, the modifier, right? There's only 2 cards that I can choose from. And only take the left hand, and only take the left-hand side, and only take the left-hand side in shops. This is, yeah. Not only does this reinforce the point that I'm trying to make about being explicit, but also it reinforces the point I'm trying to make about, please playtest these. Just because I, especially, am definitely not going to have time to playtest them before I do them. Because otherwise, I'm spending twice as long recording episodes in order to do challenge runs. And that's just really untenable for my recording schedule. Yeah, burn both those out, whatever. I'm gonna try and make this an all-anger deck. But also, it will iron out any wrinkles in the run and you'll start to understand, oh, this is a thing that's not possible in this run. Or maybe I need to change the rule set in this way because this has actually got unintended consequences that make it impossible to do. Alright. Oh, no, I obviously should have played all the Angers there. Dang it. Because I was about to cycle the deck in particular, it was important to play all the Angers. So yeah, my apparitions are gone. Like, I'm dead at this point. Pretty much. Pretty much just did. Burn that, looking for more Angers as quickly as I can get to him, I think. Get past Whirlwind, don't need that. And here's the part where I kill or die, and it's looking like dying. Dies out of here. I hate how quickly you can just discard a potion instead of throwing it based on where your mouse lands. But also, like, none of the paths for the Ironclad would save me here. If I played it, like, really, really early and got a bunch of extra strength off of my Ruptures, maybe I would have been able to push for lethal. But also, I was keeping the power potions because unless I have power potions, there's no way I would ever be able to beat the boss next floor. I think we're actually going to Ascension 0 right now. Ugh, it defaults to Ascension. Fine. There's a Searing Blow on the left-hand side. I think I just have to try and take that as my archetype. So it's Searing Blow. There's 2 entrenches in here, but there's no way to benefit from the entrenches. Searing Blow, shrug it off. True Grit. I'm looking for defense that I can afford, right? The entrench is a synergistic defense. I can't take that. Thunderclap is good because it can happen to trigger vulnerability right before a Searing Blow. I'll take Seeing Red, Pommel Strike, right? I've got a little bit of draw in the deck in those 2 cards, so maybe I can offset the cost of the Seeing Red. Dual Wield is interesting to be able to dual wield a Searing Blow that's already going off. I think I'll take that, despite the fact that I don't think it's particularly good. I'll take Twin Strike just for straight up damage, Twin Strike just for straight up damage, and another Pommel Strike, I think. So here I'm going to be looking for the path that has the most rests. Or maximum of 2. Yeah, absolute maximum of 2. This can get me an early shot. But I can't remove, of course. Fine. Searing Blow for the kill. Now, the big problem is, like, Searing Blow is the only really valid archetype that I could see in and amongst those cards, but I can't turn down cards. So my deck is constantly going to get thicker, which means the Searing Blow is less powerful. It's... Ugh, this is going to be a problem. All right. Take Cleave. I know I need some more defense, but Cleave gives me some AoE that I was already lacking from this deck. I think I could have killed the backliner there instead. Yeah, Twin Strike him. Damn it. Take Sever Soul, I guess, just so I can try and thin down my hand during play. Can only take these ones. Impatience is never going to draw for us. Body Slam is not that good. Clothesline would be useful, but... it could be useful. Relic. Hey, Sundial, yay. As the deck gets thicker, I'm going to have less and less I can do with it. Sweet. That is to say, with the Sundial. It's like a Warcry, think there. Hit this upgrade on the Searing Blow. Unless I can use the Seal Draft to build an archetype, it's just, like, in the long run is not going to work. Alright. If I can Seeing Red, Thunderclap, Searing Blow, I mean, my openings don't get much better than that, and I don't have much to set up. Just need to try and rush through this as quickly as possible. Gonna have to take a lot of damage. Yep. I just have to accept the damage so that I can actually get through this fight, because otherwise I'm just gonna die. That'll do it. Bottled Lightning upon pickup chooses skill. Started combat without any empty hand. I could put Walk. I guess I put Shrug It Off there. Yeah, we'll take another Shrug It Off. Well, okay, 2 good upgrades there. Kunai, play 3 attacks in a single turn, gain 1 dex. Upgrade the Searing Blow again. Throw a card away, happy to. But I can only select mid and left, right? Anything that is left of the mid, including the mid. So, get Sever Soul out of the deck for a full heal. It's pretty good. Decent damage. I'll take it. My Slaver and hello to regen potion. Ooh, Flame Barrier. Okay, we're actually finding some defense now. It's good to see. Kill the one that's buffing, because the one that's attacking is not going to do any damage. Barricade versus Clash. If I took the Entrenches earlier, then I could have taken the Body Slam in the shop, and then I could take this Barricade and build, but you can hardly look that far forward. Especially because, like, those Entrenches would have been taken with just a Shrug It Off and a True Grit. That said, with the expensive Flame Barrier, it might be Barricade over Clash. It gives us the ability to pivot the deck in a different direction. It is very expensive to add a card that's, like, exclusively there for the sake of pivoting, though. Like, it's exclusively there so that I can possibly avoid playing it ever. Or in the other direction, so that I can just invalidate the rest of my deck exclusively to play it. Doesn't seem that viable. Yeah, there's enough draw in this deck. I take another Seeing Red happily. All of these upgrades have to go on the Serum Glow, otherwise this is never going to scale well enough to do anything ever. Maybe I deal with that Searing Blow. Yeah. Just want to make this deck a little bit more effective if we can. Thunderclap, Twin Strike is so good. I have to turn down the Barricade, but Barricade was never going to be that great for us, right? Case in point. Shrug it up, I guess. At least we've got 11 held for this turn. I'm intentionally not popping the Acid Slime in the back line. Hopefully the Acid Slime in the backline pops by attacking me now. I think they do, in fact. Great. So now I focus all of my available damage on them. That'll do it. All right, so we're actually going to get to the second floor again. Hell yeah. Had a lot of runs in the past that haven't gotten even to the second floor, so this is a nice, refreshing way to go. Even despite the challenge. Nate. Immolate could just be a nice card to have, just for some AoE. We'll drop... Explosive Potion is really important. Probably Gamblers is the least important here, because I will need the regen potion. Runic Pyramid at the end of your turn, you no longer discard your hand. Might be statue, or potion will always appear in combat reward. Yeah, it's gotta be Runic Pyramid. This is such a janky ass deck. Oh my god, there's a 4-path rest. I have to take it. We'll go to this early shop as well. No! Ryan! Ryan! That path is on the right side of the screen. It's hard to work against muscle memory. I'm sorry. Not really too much I can do about it now, though. What can I do about it? If I was going to do something, what would I do about it? This is still also, by the way, this starts on the left of my screen, but then everything else is on the right side of my screen. So I can't go for the 4 upgrades, so what can I do? I don't have the modded version of the game currently launched, unfortunately. So it's not like I can just bring up the console and then add something to turn me over to the other side of the field. I think I just have to start going as far left from here as possible until I'm on the right side. Well, the left side. Which is the right side in this circumstance. Apotheosis? Yeah, Apotheosis is always going to be good in this deck. Pass the rest of it. Relic. Ooh, the ability to dig. Definitely never going to do that. Remove all strikes, obtain 5 bites. No. I don't need to lose that max HP right now, and I don't need to dilute my deck. Ryan, would you like to just, like, take a moment? Like, stop the tilt and just take a moment. There we go. Wasn't that better? Great. Easy kill. Just have to take the... I mean, I can take the armaments at the very least. That's a little bit of defense as well as upgrades the rest of my hand. After I upgrade it, at least. And I will. Can anyone spot the problem? The mistake that I've made like 10 times already? This is why you really, really, really need to be explicit. It's the right side of the screen I can't smith, so I've never been able to smith, so this run is already entirely invalid. Alright, this one's just going to be called Praxis rather than Perfect Praxis, and at some point in the future, I will do Perfect Praxis with a very explicitly made rule set. At the moment, I'm going to rule smithing in, because if I don't, then I just continue in 3 spaces and then this run dies. Because the whole archetype of the deck is built off of it. Oh. Armaments, the flame barrier, throw that out. A bunch of damage to the backliner, try and set myself up for Immolate to get a bunch of kills for me. Which I don't draw. Alright. Take that 10 damage. It's far less effective than I thought it was overall going to be. It's fine. Got lethal next turn. Oh, there's a singing ball. That's on the right side of the screen. Can I skip now? It's all on the left side. Please, test them. And again, I can't skip, so... Anger. It's because anger is at least always a card that I can play out of my hand. Like, I could dual wield the Searing Blow there, but it doesn't help me. Because I can still only cast 1 in a turn, because I have no Energy Relic. Iron Wave is great here. Iron Wave, whenever I have Kunai, I'm always in. The boots. But can I, like, for example, can I take any relics? Because the chest is on the right side of the screen. Like... I can't, I'm gonna stop harping on it, but, like, yeah, I'm gonna stop harping on it. I'm trying not to, but you know when someone's like, don't think of a purple elephant, and you're like, why would you say that to me? This is a funeral. We've all had that moment, right? Of course, the original thought experiment actually being like, oh, don't think of a purple elephant. What are you thinking of? Purple elephant, huh? Exactly. Look what control I've exerted over your fragile psyche. That is the... That's not me saying that, of course. That's the hypothetical researchers in this scenario that I've set up. Armaments up, and then boom. Searing, blow them down. I don't exhaust how many cards? Do I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 total. That's not good. Take me in flame, I guess. Let's put some defense on top of the deck. Barricade is good here. I'll burn that Immolate because I'm never going to be able to afford to play it. At least as it currently stands. I'm just off being able to Thunderclap Searing Blow for the kill. I can never play Thunderclap Searing Blow in the same turn, so I may as well just get rid of it right now. Okay. I'm setting myself up for the Searing Blow to be instrumental to a lethal later. Okay. Just need a little bit more damage without taking much myself. And then, okay, we've secured the kill with the Searing Blow in the next turn. Sweet. Shred off. Duplicate a card in the deck. I mean, this usually would be duplicate the Searing Blow, right? But again, only the left-hand side of this can I actually even interact with. So let's get them a Searing Red, I think. I have so many cards in hand at all times. Seeing red seems extremely important here. Good. Now, unfortunately, I am weakened at this point as well. I'll draw back into it. It's a bit funny. Or I'll just murder without it. Swift Potion. There's another Searing Blow. Battle Trance would overfill my hand almost all the time. I can't take the max HP. So it's Battle Trance or Searing Blow. Guess I'll take the Battle Trance. Alright. I'm going to dual wield the Anger just so that I get more Angers out this turn, really. Apotheosis having already gone off is really good for us. Yeah, I'll hit that upgrade. Searing Blow. So now I'm set up for what? Immolate and try and murder the bat. Oh, there is a Seeing Red in there. I was wondering whether or not I still had a Seeing Red left in the deck. I didn't think I did. Turns out I did. Can't smith. Oh, no, wait. We ruled smithing in because everything has gone to heck already. All right. Next hand is full. This is the fight where we die, by the way. Just in case you were wondering when it's going to happen. That's this. Okay, put that Apotheosis. Dual wield can only hit attacks and powers, by the way. Just in case anyone was wondering, oh, why did you do that on some of your powers? It used to be able to do any card, but the fact that you could use it on things like Seeing Red or Offering, especially when Offering took less HP from you, the fact that you could do that was why it was stopped. Thunderclap Immolate. Let's get that first, and then Searing Blow out as well. Not much vulnerability otherwise in the deck, so. Guess ideally what I'm trying to do here is just rush the collector down at this point, because if I take the time to kill these, I'm just dead to the collector eventually. In fact, it does look like I'm just dead to the collector regardless. $20. Alright, what I should have done is just shrug it off, as well as True Grit something. Shrug it off again, I guess. Yeah, the fire potion was entirely wasted there. Basically entirely out of tilt as well. Alright. Well, we've made it to the final floor at least. I consider this a rousing success. Take Juggernaut with this deck? Make it like a like a defensive deck? I think I do. I think that's the only way this ever does anything. Cursed Key. Mid and left. Cursed Key. All right. My goal there was just to make sure that I got cards out of my hand as well as picked up my point of decks. One down, then we'll play Juggernaut. Leave all of these armor gain things in my block gain rather things in my hand. You know what? I'm gonna dual wield this Inflame and then just play 3 of them. This is the jankiest. The damn jankiest jank that ever janked. Finish off with the Immolate, as was always intended. Sword Boomerang versus Spot Weakness is 2 goods, and we can hold it in the hand if we don't want it at the time. Our path is currently going to hit 2 elites, no matter what I do, so Reserved Insect, it's actually effective here. Flash of Steel is always nice to have. Rest of those I don't care about. Or at the very least, the rest of the legal ones there I don't really care about. Alright. Gotta be Apoth. Let's go digging. See what we find. Yep, because all it takes is a little bit of defense so I can kill the backliner, and then we're all set up. Iron Wave, I guess. I'm going to get rid of the Ancient Artifact and take the Gambler's Brew. It's far more effective for us. I'll play those powers out there because, I mean, it's the only turn I'm really going to be able to afford to play them. And that's some bad defense. Be happy to dual wield Iron Wave here. I mean, a dual wield Iron Wave Kunai Juggernaut deck, that's a thing. That's totally a thing. As it currently is seeming to work out, no, not really. Incoming damage here is very small. So I can actually dual wield the Flash of Steel really effectively here. One of my favorite things about having dual wields. Definitely don't want to be drawing cards anymore. And hell, I can even kill this turn. Beautiful. Is this actually gonna win? Like, I'm gonna be a little annoyed if this wins. This extremely should not. I mean, obviously, like, the Searing Blow shouldn't even be a thing if the right side of the screen includes that, so... Hey, I stopped complaining for, like, 12 seconds. That's a personal best, as far as I'm concerned. Not really finding the cards where I thought I was going to be finding them. I was hoping I would have a way to kill the backline without adding an extra card in there. Theosis. Then this is just about playing as many Shrug-It-Offs as possible. Beautiful. Take another out. I mean, the uppercut is good, but the Iron Wave is, like, the reason this deck is doing anything. Well, I'm obviously just trying to get to Apotheosis as quickly as possible here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's another point of Dex for us. Alright, so Iron, Twin, and Clothesline keep the enemy weak for the next turn because they're probably attacking then. They are. I should have spot weakness first because I knew I was going to be playing that. Alright, we're all good. Let's Juggernaut and Shrew Grit that card out and Shrew Grit that card out. So now I'm pivoting towards just using Juggernaut effectively. Or at least I hope I'm using it effectively. Let's get some more strength there. Could see that actually being super relevant. Pommel Strike. Flash of Steel to Flash of Steel to Twin Strike and Searing Blow. Lantern, Sludge Competition Energy, as well as Burning. No. Ghostly? I guess I'll have to take it. Yeah, like, this is definitely on the right-hand side of the screen, but so is Skip Chest, but if it's the only time... Where is it? The only time you're allowed to click on the right side is when it's functionally necessary. So I'm not allowed to take any relics, according to this. I mean, I'm not going to take that relic anyway because of the Cursed Key, and I don't want to put a curse in my deck and have that curse in my hand, blah, blah, blah. Right? So that one I was going to skip anyway, but... This is why I seem a little bit anal about it, because otherwise I end up in a circumstance like this, where I'm like, okay, I have a certain amount of time to record today, and then I end up recording something, I'm like, oh no, I spent the whole time complaining instead of playing the video game. That'll do it. Beautiful. Good kill. Fute Juice. I mean... Boss isn't actually going to put any wounds into our deck. Flex, at the very least, is another card that I can play to get out of my hand, so I guess I'll do that. Swift Potion is not too useful for us, so sure, I will take the Fruit Juice there. Well, that was dumb on my behalf. Yeah, I committed to a whole turn before I did any of it by going, oh yeah, I'm definitely spending the extra energy this turn. No, I wasn't. That was never gonna happen. At least I can spot weakness here. Anyone want to guess whether or not that was the card I was trying to play? Hint it was. Flex, dual wield the Flash of Steel, and now I can at least get that to go off a little bit. Alright. Dual wield can't hit another Flash of Steel at this point. Oh no, maybe. Thought all the Flash of Steel were in the other pile. Apparently they are not. Beautiful. Flash him to death. Guess I take dropkick. I mean, it has a chance of triggering, whereas Perfected Strike is always going to be a garbage card that I'm never going to want to play. Okay. Leave Cleave in hand for a bit. Nope, don't leave Cleave in hand for a bit. Use it to kill this turn, and then full defend. Can I... Yeah. Murder. On fight hand, whenever you play a power card in hand, a random card in hand costs 0 for the rest of the turn. Rather. That backwards off the deck. I'll end my turn there. This is not good. Dual wield the Flash of Steel and try and get kills on the enemies that are trying to deal the most damage to me right now. And I think I have to get rid of Barricade. I'm just waiting for Immolate, right? Yeah. This was the Immolate waiting room. Fine. Guess I'll take Havoc. And we've been breaking this rule the entire time. Searing Blow. So yeah, this run does not count as a win for this challenge. Because it's not doing the challenge. Or rather, it doesn't understand what the challenge is to do. I still don't know if smithing is actually allowed. So this lets me play 4 cards next turn. So I got rid of Immolate there just because it's really, really heavy right now. Just too heavy for me. It's 2 Japanese snakes. Fine. What have we drawn into? What hot mess have we managed to find ourselves in and amongst? Alright, I'm going to Armaments the dual wields. I'm going to Seeing Red, dual wields the Iron Wave. Now, this is an Iron Wave deck. That's what I've just done. I've turned this entirely into an Iron Wave deck. I'm gonna draw a card and see if I get a 0 cost that I can play. I do not. So I generate another card so that I can make sure that I meet the card limit for that turn. Cleave, drop kick. Iron Wave. Decent defense, but the enemy is going to split this turn now. Find the barricade, dang it. Good. All right. Barricade is up. Let's anger, pommel. And then Iron Wave. Round out that turn. Burns the ghostly armor, but I can still play a couple cards next turn. I think I just play defense this turn. So I can only play 2 cards next turn, but unless this is a weakness, and it's not, yeah, we have lethal in just those 2 cards. Beautiful. All right, 37, and that's that run completed. Not that challenge run, though. The challenge run is not completed because I don't know what the rules are. I said I'd stop complaining. For the moment, though, my name's been Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Slay the Spire. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves. This has been a challenge run named Praxis, and hopefully we'll see you next time.